Evening and welcome to Andover. Tonight it's girls basketball. The Andover Huskies take on the Osseo Orioles. The Orioles come in 1-3. The Huskies 3-2 on the young season. Osseo had a tough task last night. They got blown out by St. Michael Albertville, ranked number 2. So they're looking to rebound tonight.
They are. You know, they may see the same full court pressure that St. Michael Albertville dishes out in that 1-2-2 formation, which is what Andover likes to play as well. But they're also facing an Andover team. They're 3-2. One of their 2 losses comes to one of the top teams in the state in Rosemont. But the Huskies bring a lot of juice, a lot of returning players, a lot of scorers. They can win from the perimeter, but they can also go inside to Miller and capitalize on that game as well. I think it's going to be a great matchup for these 2 squads tonight.
Yeah, as Joe mentioned, Andover 3 players averaging in double figures, and the player that really makes it go for the Osseo Orioles, Alea Wilson. She's outstanding and a senior.
She is. She's averaging almost 16 points a game. With Andover, meanwhile, you got Valor. She comes in averaging 17 as well. So you've got some shooters, some scorers, and it's going to be some major momentum tonight on the court here at Andover High School.
Girls hoops coming up here on QCTV.
Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Score! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
And we are moments away from tip-off tonight. The weather's not the greatest, but it's warm and comfortable in the gymnasium. Steve Thompson along with Joe Rulin tonight. And it'll be Osseo at 1-3, Andover at 3-2. The Huskies, 4 juniors in the lineup, and they feel like they can take a big step forward this year in this conference.
They are. They're coming off a disappointing season last year, Osseo, with a record of 7-20. And they've got some talent. And, Wilson as well. Alea Wilson, someone to keep an eye on. She's committed. She'll be going to Lindenwood next year and play some D1 basketball, averaging 16 a game. So they've got a lot of avenues, a lot of access to scoring some hoops. And meanwhile, the Huskies, the word experience comes back, and they have it all around the perimeter and inside as well with Morgan Miller.
Engelby, Beckman, Frost, Miller, and Valor for the Huskies in black. Tip kicked. And Andover's going to hang on.
We'll get a look here because I know the Huskies tonight, and speaking with Blake Nichols before the game, is they want to pressure that ball a little bit more up top and use their reach and stretch there.
Andover, Valor kicks it out into the corner. They get it on top. Here's Frost, down low, too far. Turnover, they tried to get it to the post, and Miller, first turnover of the game on Andover.
Yeah, I think Frost wishes she had that one again. Miller open on that man-to-man defense. They got a nice pick on the backside. Just couldn't close it up. Osseo on the other side here. Hey, Coach Erling said we got to move when we're off the ball. We got to have better movement when we're off the ball on our offensive set.
Here's Hargrove, gets it out on top. Choi kicks it out to the left. Miller down into the corner trying to drive White, and White got fouled along that far baseline, and that first foul of the game is going to go on the Andover Huskies.
Trying to drive the baseline and not quite quick enough to get those feet in front was Miller. So the one thing is you want to keep her out of foul trouble.
Down in the corner, it's Wilson, 3-ball, rattles out, no good, follows her own shot. Back up, block, grab by Andover, Valor, and then they turn it right back over. Here's Wilson going baseline to the hoop, floater, no. She gets knocked down, and the rebound comes to Andover and Frost. She'll bring it up the floor, give it up on the wing. Here's Engelby, lets it fly. And that one goes out of bounds, and the Orioles will get it back. Still scoreless, just underway.
Engelby averaging 13 points a game, and you have Frost averaging 11. You can see that battle inside, some scrappiness early on for Osseo and the Orioles trying to take the early lead.
Choi, Wilson, Miller, White, Hargrove on the floor right now. And they get it to Hargrove on top. They swing it to the right. Here's Miller. Back to the left. Alea Wilson drives in from the block. No. And the rebound to Frost again. She'll give it up on the wing. Here's Voller. Voller, nice look down low, but the shot missed by Miller. And the rebound to the Orioles and Hargrove. Choi, front court left side. Has it tapped away. That's Miller. 2 minutes in, we're still scoreless. Weather outside is frightful.
I was going to touch that, but I decided to move through, and there's a strip.
Ball down on the deck, grabbed by Miller for Andover, shovels it over to Voller. And Anna Voller, averaging 17.4 a game, will bring it up the floor, kick it further out. Here's Beckman. Beckman with the touch on top, and she travels. Second turnover on Andover early in the game.
Yep, and hey, man-to-man pressure, both of which is excellent. And now we're going to see the Huskies see if they maybe go to this 1-2-2 full court pressure. As I mentioned in the pregame, St. Michael Albertville does it so well. But hey, Andover as well used it and kind of hit their zone as well with it in the postseason last year. But just to slow things down, make them work a little bit more to move that ball up court. And the Huskies then set up and fall back into this man-to-man that both teams are playing.
Miller's got it over by the scorer's table. Down the lane, Miller went up. That was just blocked out of bounds. And that was blocked neatly by Miller. She just stuck an arm out and knocked it out of bounds. The Orioles are going to hang on. Still scoreless, almost 3 minutes in. Andover 2 turnovers in the game, 1 team foul. That's about all we have for stats at the moment.
Taking a look at the starters here, Doug Erline and the Osseo Orioles. Lynn Choi along with Alea Wilson, again averaging 16 a game. You have Tayden Miller, and along with that you have Alea Missile along with Araya Mitchell, number 11, and then it's Jason White down low, 5'11" for Osseo.
They get it into the block. Here's Miller. Kicks it out on the left. 3-point try is good. First points of the game.
So there you go, right on cue. Ingleby hits the first 3 of the game for her, and she goes. Huskies go up 3-0. There you have Valor averaging 17 points a game. Frost comes in. She's at almost 12 points a game. Morgan Miller nudging up near 10 a game. And finally, Kayla Beckman, one of the forwards, gets a start tonight for the Huskies, led by head coach Blake Nichols.
Choi drives in, misses a shot. Board comes down to Miller. Miller will, in transition, give it up on the wing. Frost holds, hands it off. Here's Beckman. Beckman down low. Ingleby on the block, off the guard. Miller with her first bucket down on the block. 5-0 Andover.
Mentioned she's almost at 9 a game. They get it down low, and Osseo trying to bring a defender underneath to maybe strip that ball or just disrupt play somehow.
Out on top, it's Choi. Swings it out. Wilson. Now it's Hargrove. Now Miller is going to drive in, try to go across, and she got bumped. Second team foul on Andover here. They lead at 5-0.
Some movement there. Yep, a little whack right on the arm. She went by and foul whistled. Second team foul for Andover.
Frost sits, Peterson in the game. Shot put up quickly by Choi, and then it's kicked out of bounds, and Andover's going to take over. So Frost will sit with the foul. Lily Peterson into the game, averaging 3 points, the senior guard. And in the backcourt, Kayla Beckman. The Orioles show a little pressure, and now it's Voller. Anna Voller, junior, drives down the lane all the way to the hole, up and in.
Nice left-handed layup, and excellent close by Valor, coming in averaging 17 a game, gets her first 2. That's the thing you'll see with the Huskies, Steve, is they have so much depth. Almost 4 players averaging double digits.
Choi across, put it up, and White gets the bucket. Nice feed from Choi, 7-2.
White is averaging 7.5 a game, and she can tangle with the size of Andover inside if she can stay out of foul trouble.
Here's Lily Peterson off the bench, first player off the bench for Blake Nichols and Andover. Valor drives in, got stripped, got fouled. And the question is, will it be on Wilson or it will be on White? We'll find out momentarily, and it is on Alea Wilson.
Boy, it looked like a lot of ball as well right there. One thing, Steve, we hadn't mentioned was that Vanessa Papa, along with Maya Sampi, are out for Osseo with COVID. So those are two players that get some key time throughout the game, and they're down those two players.
Substitutions.
Osseo coming in averaging 48 points per game. Andover, they are at 59 points per game.
On the inbound, they get it to the wing. Here's Miller. Miller into the paint, spin move, up, got the bucket and the foul.
Well, they're leaving that middle wide open. The lane is all hers, and she had time to reverse pivot and take it with that left hand in and close the deal on this one. And there was the and one, a slap on the arm. And the Huskies have got to like this start, 9-2 here, opening of the first half.
Foul on White, her first. Third on the Orioles, she completes the three-point play, 10-2 Andover. They're at home on this Tuesday night. Orioles kick it out in the corner. That's White trying to get inside. Back out. Miller, she'll drive. Put up the runner. No. Rebound. Valor. Valor's going to bring it up as the Orioles drop back defensively. 12:30 to go in the half. Down to the post. Knocked away from Miller. Now here's Alea Wilson for the Orioles. Tries to drive. Good defense by Frost. Goes down. Turns it over. Out of bounds. Well, great job by Frost to stay in front of her and draw that turnover.
In the game for the Huskies, number 20, Lacey Hepple.
Well, you'll see right now on the scoreboard, 4 of the 5 have scored already. Now they've made some substitutions and trying to get that a little break, a little breather here, the first to kind of reassess and then kind of refuel those starters to come in here. And it's good to get that lead to get this visit.
Valor's shot, no. Lacey Hepple off the bench. The board tried to get it more into the middle. It's tapped around. Finally grabbed by Wilson for the Orioles. Double team comes. She dribbles through it and gets it off to her right. Miller. Tatum Miller. Being guarded there very closely by Peterson. And now it's Bennett. Bennett out in the corner. White, 3-ball, got it. She has 5.
She got that pass right into that shooting pocket, and she locked in on it. Nothing but net. And that's a big bucket for this Oriole squad. Again, they come in with that mark of 1-3. Their lone win this season has come against an Iron-Gale squad, 66-35. Keep in mind, they're also coming off that intensity of a St. Michael Albertville team they played last night.
Foul on the Orioles, Miller. That'll be her first, 4th team foul. Andover with 2 team fouls. Husky into the backcourt. That's knocked away by Miller. Good defensive play. Guarding Caleb Beckman for Andover. And now they're going to inbound down here. They're going to go down the floor about 30 feet. And now Emma Frost does indeed get it in to Lacey Hepple, sophomore guard. And now it's Frost all the way across. Valor, long 3, heel to the rim, no. Long board grab there for the Orioles, and Miller, and she'll bring it up. Coming up on 11 to go in the half. And we got a foul out in front. That's going to be Lily Peterson, her first, 3rd on Andover. No one in the game with more than 1 foul.
Andover staying with that man-to-man. As Coach Nichols mentioned before the game, we need, ball pressure. We need to improve our ball pressure and use our length. And certainly you could see Andover, a taller, much more stretched team. And they're trying to get to pick up that ball at the ball point and force some turnovers. 3 turnovers already for Osseo.
Orioles swing it out to the right. Choi looked at a 3, gets it inside. This is White from the block. That was blocked by Miller. Orioles hang on, now top of the key. Shot missed there. That shot attempt by Mitchell. And now Huskies the other way. They get it down low. Frost the catch. Kicks it back out. Here's Heppel. And then she swings it to the right. And Miller missed it. But it goes out of bounds. And Andover's going to hang on.
Yep, Ingleby took that last shot. They moved the ball extremely well around the perimeter. And Ingleby had a chance to step into that three-point attempt and just off of the mark for the player averaging 13 a game for the Huskies.
Ingleby catch in the corner. Tries to drive out of there. Good defense by the Orioles. Mitchell. Now they get it into the block. Double team comes. And right back out. And Peterson. Now they get it to Ingleby. Spinning, driving, Heppel. Back to Ingleby in the corner. To the block. Spin move. Got it. She has 5.
I like how they haven't been settling for the three, the Huskies, and that nice reverse move on the dribble by Ingleby to counter and put it off the glass that time for the 2.
They get it inside to White. White put it on the floor. Back out. Choi's 3. No. Rebound Wilson weak side. She'll reset. Right of the key. She'll try and drive. Double team comes. Double clutches. Off no good. And the rebound ripped down by Emma Frost. She'll dribble it up the floor. Give it up. Miller.
Good transition basket for the Huskies. They dish out a nice dime bounce pass and they go to the bank to pick it up.
7 for Miller. 5 for Ingleby. 2 for Voller. On the other side, the Orioles' 5 points belong to Josiah White. And here we are at the break and a look at the 4A rankings.
Well, you look at St. Michael Oberville, number 2 in the state, who Osseo just played last night. Many people think they are the number 1 team in the state, but Hopkins' history probably has them as 1. Eden Prairie, followed by Chaska, Minnetonka, Wayzata, East Ridge, and then you have Rosemount, and that's a team that Andover lost to, a team that they had a 2-point lead at half, 30-28. And followed by Maple Grove and Lakeville South in Class 4A. So competitive Northwest Metro with some representation there. Again, talked to Coach Erling before the game, and Osseo, he said that they're so tenacious. And they were missing their second best player last night on top of it. And he says they took it to us extremely well on that 1-2-2 full court pressure. But we've got to take away some positive from that game and get back at it here. But that St. Michael Upperville team, tough to contend with. The Huskies, as I mentioned, they led Rosemount by 2 points at half. But they made some adjustments, did Rosemount, on their defensive play. And Coach Nichols had said they are such a quality team and a great shooting team as well as Rosemount.
Coming up on the 9-minute mark, half number 1. Here's the Orioles down by 9. Andover their big lead at the moment. Wilson gets it out. Hargrove. Wilson gets it back in front of the Andover bench. And now swings it over to the right. Mitchell drives in. Tough shot. And I think she drew the foul. And I think that's going to be the first foul on Piper Ingleby. We'll see if the double ones come up, and they do. There's a 14 foul on Andover, and now we're even in that category.
Osseo likes to run that 4-out, 1-in motion offense. But again, Coach, for Osseo, I'd say we have got to get ourselves to move away from that ball. We've got to get better motion away from the ball if we're going to have any success. And a lot less dribbling, he said, also will open up some additional passing lanes.
Taya Mitchell at the line, missed them both. And then it goes out of bounds off the Orioles. So Andover's going to inbound. And to do the honors, Emma Frost in the backcourt with her. Lacey Heppel, Piper Ingleby. As the Orioles show full court pressure.
Yep, they'll pick it up man-to-man and see what they can do to change the tempo of this game. Huskies getting a chance to convert on some fast breaks, but also getting a chance to set up their offense. So let's see if Osseo can change the tempo.
Heppel gets it off to Ingleby, who has 5. Leader is Miller with 7. Miller gets it down on the post. They kick it out in the corner. The 3-ball, no. Peterson couldn't convert. And now Wilson fires it ahead. Here's Mitchell.
Not back. Nice shots. All the difference. Great pass into the shooting pocket, getting the chance to step into that three. And you can see just how good a shooting team this team, Osseo, can be.
Andover has a size advantage for sure. And we have a foul on the Orioles as we go into the front court. And we have substitutions coming into the game. Doesn't look. And now the official saying, let's slow it down. Let me call the foul here. So that is on Wilson. That's number 2. First player in the game with 2. The leading scorer for the Orioles. So that is a big deal.
That's huge. That is huge. She's averaging 16 a game. She is the catalyst on this team. So that second foul could be a pivotal component in this game.
She's going to sit. Heppel drives to the corner, gives it up. Valor at the 3, and she has 5, 17-8. Back to a 9-point Andover lead.
3-ball, corner pocket, catch and release. Nothing but net for Valor.
Franklin's out there. Now it's Miller. Miller trying to drive. Hands it off to Franklin. And she traveled. Turnover on the Orioles.
Well, here's that component of having Wilson on the bench. You bring in someone who doesn't have a whole lot of experience, has some. But Franklin steps in, and the turnover there, I have that as the 5th turnover of the first half here for Osseo.
Sophia Purcell running the point now for Andover off the bench on top. And a Valor. Gets it back outside. Purcell. Now it's Engelby. Engelby right of the lane. Nice look down low. They kick it back out. Purcell's 3. How about that? 20-8, 12-point lead
Her
for
high,
the Huskies.
You got her high for the season is 10 in the last game, but boy, she hit that one from a 3-ball and the corner. So good ball rotation. Move it now up to a 12-point lead for Andover, and we'll get another whistle and a foul.
Wilson's going to come on the floor along with White. Sitting down for the Orioles will be Franklin and Hargrove. Out on the floor, Valor, Miller, Beckman, and then out on the point, Purcell.
Got
That's a shot from the corner, yeah.
Number 11 is going to be whistled for Osseo on that moving pick. Mitchell. 1 foul away from the bonus.
Andover with 5. Team fouls have been pretty even, and now it's Purcell. Purcell into the front court, gets it over to Frost. And she got bumped by Wilson. That'll be her 3rd, and she's going to need to sit down, and that is bad news for the Orioles. Valea Wilson sitting down with 3 fouls. And really, I know what she was trying to do, go for the steal, but Doug Erling's going to have to sit her down.
Bennett comes back in for Osseo. As you can see, she's an aggressive defender. You can tell, yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm going to break this thing up. Could be a game changer. We could get back into this thing, but instead she picks up her 3rd. And that will be detrimental for this Osseo team. May lack a bit of an offensive spark here the remainder of the first half.
Frost knocks it down. After it was 14-8, this is an 8-0 Andover run. They lead by 14. Quickly the other way, 3-pointer missed. Rebound grab by the Orioles. Miller down low. And now they get it back outside. And this is Miller. Across to Choi. Choi looking for a spot out near the A in the middle of the floor.
Choi's averaging 6 points a game.
Trying to drive. White. And White got knocked down, and that's going to be on Beckman. That'll be the first on Beckman, 6 on Andover.
Shooting foul puts her at the charity stripe for a couple for the Orioles. And as I mentioned, the lone win this season for Osseo has come against Irondale, but even in that St. Michael Albertville loss, Wilson put in 13. In that first win versus Irondale, it was Wilson with 15, White with 13, and Choi chipped in 11.
So she hits them both. 22-10. Here's Purcell. Further ahead in Frost. Purcell gets it back way out on the left. They try to get it down low and knocked away pretty nicely defensively there.
Miller just got a finger on it before it went out of bounds. It had the angle here. You could see the change of the path of the ball.
Yeah, Bennett did a good job. And then, once again, Miller couldn't do much with it. Turnover on Andover, and now the Orioles get it back. They're in double figures now. Here's Miller. Miller guarded by Purcell, works off a pick. And now it's grabbed there by Bennett. Orioles 1-3 on the year. Once again, tall order taking on number 2 St. Michael Albertville last night. This is a tough back-to-back, and they've been playing on the road a lot to start the season. This will be their 5th straight game to start the year, all on the road. And here's Bennett's shot. No, rebound, back up, off, no good by Mitchell. And the board finally comes down to Valor for Andover. She's going to take it right down the lane, coast to coast. The board, then the bucket. Valor has 7.
Oh, she never picked up her dribble, kept her eyes down court, and the seam in the lane opened up, and I like that left-handed wraparound.
Under 5 to go in the half. Andover in control on this Tuesday night. The near side, Mitchell missed it. Rebound, Choi couldn't handle it. Player goes down, Valor. Choi grabs it back, and then it's ultimately picked up by Beckman. She'll let the dust settle. Give it up to Purcell. Now Valor way out on top, trying to drive, put her head down, but couldn't move it ahead. Now right back down to the block. Up, off for Miller. Grab the board, gets it back, goes up, gets it. And she'll get a chance for another 3-point play.
That size for Andover starting to take its toll. And they're able to move that ball down low. Poking and prodding at it. Miller almost gave up on it, picked it back up, and then she got the and one opportunity with that stick to it in this.
Find on White, her second, 8th team foul. And at the line to try and complete her second 3-point play of the night is Miller. And she does. And she's in double figures. 10 points in the game, 27-10.
It's tough because you hate to have, if you're Osseo coach, you hate having Alea Wilson on that bench at any point of the game. But when you have now a 17-point deficit and you still have 4 to go in the first half.
Well, and she hasn't scored either. And that's you rely on her for so much scoring. And tough night for her. This is Bennett, hands it off. Now it's Miller. Miller guarded by Purcell. Miller kicks it out in the corner. Here's Medler's shot, no. And the rebound, Valor. She'll outlet, Beckman quickly ahead. Peterson, the bucket. Nice fast break. Peterson's first points of the game. 29-10 Andover. 3:39 to go in the half. And another timeout, and they continue to pull away.
I've got Andover for 8 transition points already here in the first half. They barely dribbled on that transition down the court. And got the ball set, feet squared, and closed the deal to Lily Peterson, averaging 3 already this season, and she's picked up some. So I'll get a look at the standings in the Northwest Suburban. You've got Centennial. Centennial's a team that Andover lost to in the section finals last year. A good team went to state. You got Maple Grove, a team ranked in Class 4A, Champlain Park. Anoka is out to a nice start at 4-1. Elk River, same at 4-1. Andover at 3-2, followed by Blaine. And then Park Center, Rogers, Coon Rapids, Spring Lake Park. And then there's Osseo. Osseo's had a tough schedule to begin with. But I'll tell you, with the 2 players out with COVID tonight, it's starting to feel the effect because you have to go a little deeper to that bench. And against this Andover squad and that height and that athleticism, they have not had an offensive score in terms of an offensive rebound and a point, has Osseo here in this first half. They've had just 2 offensive rebounds, but have not been able to cash in. And anything in terms of a layup, they have just not been able to close the deal, and they've had to alter that shot. So that's part of the reason. That's why you miss Alea Wilson on the bench right now if you're Osseo.
Yeah, big story, 3 fouls, no points for Wilson. Here come the Orioles into the front court. 3.5, that one's knocked out of bounds. Purcell Peterson, along with Engelby, Beckman, and Valor on the floor for the Andover Huskies into the backcourt. Choi catches, little bump by Valor. Choi trying to create a little room on the near side of the floor. And now gives it up. Here's Miller. Tatum Miller. And Choi now coming out. Mitchell. She'll drive in, put up a runner off the glass and in. Nice driving bucket. She has 5.
That's the first layup, but that was really a runner almost from outside the lane that she used and went to the bank on.
Purcell. Valor from downtown. And that one's no good. The rebound ripped away by Mia Metler. And now the Orioles gain control.
Andover ball hawking behind the play and underneath the hoop, almost picked up a steal.
Miller swings it across. This is Bennett. Bennett driving in, turnaround in the paint, off the side of the rim. No good, Andover ball.
I got to tell you, I was watching Miller on that last possession when they scored. She's such a true point guard. You know, smaller inside, but love that spark. And you can tell she's got just that bulldog approach to her. And she was almost slapping one of the teammates on the back, like, get through on the cut, would you? It's like going through that Thanksgiving Day line. Would you hurry up and get through so we can get some more? But she is the true point guard. Wow.
Heppel. Peterson. And now out on top, it's Frost. Handing it off. Valor put it up. Got the bucket. No, foul on the floor. You're going to get the bucket. She wants it. She wants a chance for the third 3-point play for Andover, and now they're going to say charge.
Yeah, it was a
Valor.
push-off. They call Valor with that push-off, and you can tell they're just little things if you had a chance just to run the camera alone, not on me, but on Miller, this point guard. She does those little things so well. There's a beautiful runner.
Yeah, shot put up by Miller. No. Rebound to Andover.
So active. I enjoy that type of play. Pestering.
Choi, I think, bumped Valor out near the A logo in the middle of the floor. That'll be the first on Choi. 19 foul on Andover, or excuse me, Osseo. 7 for Andover, and Valor at the line, shooting the front end right here.
Well, the Huskies this season, you know, they get consistency with each game. You see Valor putting up 16, 17 a game. You also get the support from Miller. You get the support from Frost. And you get support from Valor and Engelby each game. In fact, in the Forest Lake win that they had, 5 players ended up in double figures for Andover. Frost had 17, Engelby 14, Miller and Valor both had 10. Just that the ability to score from a lot of different players and a lot of different angles will benefit the Huskies this season and that experience.
She made 1, missed 1. She has 8 driving the other way. Shot spins out of there for Bennett. Rebound to Andover in transition. Frost all the way to the hole. Left-handed layup is good. That was pretty. She has 4.
First Euro step of the season I've seen this season, and that was great footwork.
Back the other way. Left-handed layup answered by Mitchell, and she has 7. And now a turnover on Andover in the backcourt. Osseo ball. The Orioles a little spark late in this half.
That last bucket, I believe, was by Choi. And not exactly a tall player, but she plays tall. And that time took the left hand inside with the trees.
Miller drives in. Charge. That's a charge. Won't get free throws here. 10 team foul on Osseo and on the inbound. Valor. Once again, 8 points. Coming up in the final minute to go.
Close to a 5-second call here.
They get it in, stolen away by Choi. And she'll lay it in.
Back-to-back buckets in the lane for Choi.
32-16. Coming up on 1 minute to go in the half. Huskies into the front court. Hempel hands it off. Valor, nice look. Miller missed it. And the rebound comes down to Hargrove for the Orioles. Backcourt pressure by Peterson. She was the Lone Ranger there. Here come the Orioles and Bennett. Now it's Choi. Choi inside. Here's Hargrove.
I like the ball movement. I love the picks, but I love the motion away from the ball for Osseo that time. And great setup.
Valor down low. Shot put up. Blocked away. Miller had a chance and stolen right back by Andover. Under 20 seconds to go. And we have a player down injured for the Osseo Orioles.
Yep, the point guard.
Official timeout.
Miller down. It looked like she had turned her ankle on the transition there. Huskies did a good job of staying focused. They thought maybe Miller was fouled, but they didn't sit and complain about it. They turned around and picked the ball off on that pass. You can see it here.
Yeah, an awkward collision.
That time it was Frost who came down on her ankle.
Yep, right there. Great job by our crew.
Many times it's that other person landing on an opponent's ankle where you see that thing get turned up.
Andover built their lead to 32-12, and then a tidy little 6-0 run by the Orioles. Now with 14.3 to go in the half.
And they got active defensively. You know, hey, being a smaller team, and you know, and at one time when I was 6'6", I could play bigger, but now that I decided to downsize, you find that you can be more active and disruptive defensively by just getting in that path in front of the opposer. And Choi has picked up 4 of the 6 points here in just the last minute for Osseo.
Hempel in the back court, just over the timeline, gives it over to Frost. Down the middle, Valor. Off to the left, Peterson. Seconds remaining, get it down low. They got it into Frost. She has 6 at the half. And it's 34-18 Andover. So a pretty play to get a bucket at the end of the half. They took it right down to the wire and got it into Frost.
But
Good
they
job.
stayed poised, Steve, on that ball rotation. Started it on the far side, brought it around to the near side of the perimeter, bounced pass inside, and went to the bank for 2 more. Did Miller, and getting herself comfortable and closing things up. And the Huskies take a healthy halftime lead.
Miller leads the way with 10 for the Andover Huskies, and they lead it by 16 at the break. Stick around, the second half coming up here on QCTV.
I'm the owner of Allison's Petite Pastries here in Ramsey, Minnesota. We have been open for 2 months now, and it's been going amazing thanks to the wonderful community of Ramsey. One of my specialty things that I have here are called petite gâteaux. It's kind of hard to pronounce, but it's a petite gâteau, so it means little cake in French. It is essentially a mousse element, something crunchy into it, a fruit element, a fruit curd, different elements like that create this thing. And what it is it's meant for like one person kind of thing. So with the petite, making things cute and tiny, but I also wanted to go for like the more individualized desserts. So behind me you can see all of the gorgeous petite gâteaux that I have. I kind of do a little play on different things, like there is like a brownie in there called Out of This World brownie. It's amazing. It's the best brownie. Double chocolate, layer of fudge, layer of ganache, and then my favorite little cosmic sprinkles on top too. So it's something familiar for the city and for people around here to kind of familiarize themselves with. And then I've got my cheesecake, which is like, I will die with that recipe. It's the best cheesecake. I can turn any person who does not like cheesecake, after they try mine, they're hooked. My dad is requesting this year a French silk pie for Christmas, so we will definitely be doing that. The cookie boxes will be back with the 2 different sizes. Great for company parties, great for just having all the neighbor kids out in your yard making a bunch of snowmen and then having some cookies for them as well. The nice thing about those is we'll have kind of, the macaroons in there too for a nice gluten-free option as well. We'll have kind of our classic pack. Obviously my favorite Linzer cookies will be in there as well too. We'll just have kind of tons of stuff. We'll always have case cakes in there and cake pops that are themed. I literally can't wait to turn this bakery from Thanksgiving to Christmas in like a couple hours. So I'm very excited about that. The community has been absolutely incredible. I could not believe it. I literally, days leading up to grand opening day, I was like, nobody's gonna show up. Nobody's gonna show up. They don't know who I am. It was absolutely incredible. Every time I popped my head up here looking, I got tears in my eyes because I was like, I can't believe this many people want to come and support me, and it's been insane. They've supported me at my house. They've supported me since I've opened. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from the community saying that they just love having a bakery in their town, and that's all I wanted to do ever since I was a kid, was to bring the first bakery to my hometown. And with Ramsey, they've been so awesome and so supportive and so just 10 out of 10 of a community. I couldn't have asked for a better community. There's no other city I'd want to put them in.
Introducing Mrs. Ice Cream and Soda Pop Shop. Located in Ramsey, Minnesota, just off of Bunker and St. Francis Boulevard, Mrs. brings a new retro ice cream parlor experience to the Anoka-Ramsey area. I was able to catch up with the owners Ethan and Jess Pratt, the same owners who brought Ambi Wine Bar to downtown Anoka, to learn more about their story and goals with their new business venture.
When we opened Ambi Wine Bar, we wanted to create a one-of-a-kind, just unique experience that really focused on the ambiance. Over the last year and a half, we welcomed the birth of our daughter Isabel last summer 2021, and with her birth we wanted to continue to extend what we were doing with Ambi, but focus on new moments, more moments that were centered around family, places that we could take our daughter And with that came the creation of Mrs. Ice Cream and Soda Pop Shop.
We'd like to think that we offer a different type of experience here. We like to incentivize people staying and enjoying the ambiance. So one of the questions that we'll ask you when you come in to order is if you would like it for here or to go. And if you say for here, we'll put it in a lovely glass dish or cup for you. And it really just kind of helps with the whole experience, tying it all together. It's part of great moments. So if you are having a glass like this, you're gonna feel that you can stay a little bit longer. You know, we're designing the dining floor for that experience. You know, just really slow down, take your time. We don't want anybody to feel rushed, and having a stay glass item is part of that, as opposed to just a paper cup that typically people are used to getting in other ice cream shops.
As soon as you walk into Mrs. for the first time, you'll see just how inviting it is to stay, enjoy the moment, and the 1950s atmosphere.
With this space, we've been looking to really focus on the experience. As you can see behind me, we've got an old retro dining car where it feels more like you know, your classic 1950s diner. And in that space, we're looking to host events, and so we'll be adding events to our event calendar now that we've passed our grand opening. And within that, you know, we'll be exploring things like movies for large groups, potentially reserving the space for larger groups, and you know, allowing people to entertain groups as they see best fit.
But of course, the main attraction is the ice cream and soda. And much like Ambi Wine Bar, the options are plentiful with different combinations of ice cream, cookies, and soda to enjoy together. It would be hard not to try something different each time you visit.
So right now, on the line, we have 12 options of premium hard scooped ice cream, and then we also offer 4 options of gelato, which is Italian ice cream. We're excited to see the trends that are coming in for what people are ordering. We had a lot of milkshakes be ordered, so that gives us incentive to maybe make those a little bit more specialty and fun. I'm personally really excited about our cookie sandwich line that we have. We have a fantastic one that is really surprising to people. It's a lemon cooler cookie with a blueberry cheesecake ice cream, and so it's just different. It goes outside of that classic, you know, cookie, chocolate chip cookie dough with just vanilla ice cream. So kind of, you know, pushing those boundaries of all the possibilities, but yet we can still leave the imagination for them to create their own too.
What we try to do is have about, you know, 12 to 15 or so ice cream and soda pops both on the list, and the thought is to make it fun, playful, and drive discovery, just like with the wine bar, just like with Ambi Wine Bar. We're always trying to help people find their next favorite.
And we are back in Andover. Huskies lead the Osseo Orioles 34-18 at the half. Morgan Miller leading the way for the Huskies with 10, and a Voller with 8. The Orioles are led by Josiah White with 7 points at the half. Orioles get it down low, and there's an easy bucket. Good look for Hargrove. She has 4, 34-20. Andover's big lead was 20 points in the first half, 32-12. And now the Orioles within 14 early in the half number 2. Here's Voller on top. Engelby had 5 at the break. They get it inside. Beckman back out in the corner. Voller for 3. Her second of the game. She has 11.
Elbow towards the rim, and it's going in from 3. Ball, corner pocket. And the Huskies get their first 3 of the second half and extend that lead back to 17.
Maya Hargrove in the corner gives it up. Alea Wilson on the floor. No points. 3 fouls in the first half. Limited her time. There's a driving shot put up. Missed. Rebound by Kayla Beckman for Andover. She'll bring it up the floor. Into the middle. Get bumped. No call. And then hand it off. Piper Engelby. Engelby, Beckman, Frost, Miller, and Voller out there. Here's Voller trying to turn the corner. Stolen away. Turnover. Here's Tatum Miller. Gives it up to Choi. Across. There's a collision between Wilson and Miller. The ball goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to Andover.
Well, Ingleby put that hand up and diffused that passing opportunity, and then Osseo went after it and knocked it out of bounds themselves. So Ingleby not only a key three, she now has game high 11 points. A good defensive play as well.
Fowler into the plane. A player goes down. That was White. They get it right back inside. Ingleby from the right block. No. Orioles fight with each other for the board. Now it's finally grabbed there by Hargrove. Hands to Miller, and she'll bring it up.
My correction, it's Valor who had that three from the corner and the good defensive play. And the game high 11.
Wilson down the lane, partially blocked there by Frost, and then it goes out of bounds. They have done a really good job on an outstanding score. And Alea Wilson and got her in foul trouble as well. She is a dynamic scorer and has had a wonderful career at Osseo. She has the ball out on the wing trying to find room. And they have just flat out taken her away tonight.
They have, and plus those fouls.
Choi, three, that's long. Rebound fought for, and it's tied up. Morgan Miller over there, and tying up Josiah White. And Andover's going to get the ball up by 17 early in half number 2. Here's Voller. Anna Voller. 8 points at the half. Adds a three-pointer here. Leads all with 11 at the moment. Tries to shovel it inside, and it's stolen away by White. Probably not a good idea there, and now the Orioles get it back.
Orioles with 7 turnovers in the first half, Andover with 4. Now add that one, it's 5 now total for Andover.
Tatum Miller lobs it down to the block. Here's Amaya Hargrove out on the left. This is White's three, and it's good. White has her second three. She's in double figures at 10.
Yeah, when she can square up, she had their toes pointing towards the rim, elevated and put down to 3.
Engelby into the paint, spins, got caught. Good D by Hargrove, stolen away by Engelby. Out on the right, Fowler. She's going to spot up long 3. That's no good. Long board, grab by Engelby, right back up, off no good. Another rebound and a foul. Well, Piper Engelby pounding the glass.
And Miller will pick up her 3rd foul for Osseo.
Her and Wilson have 3. Getting set to come into the game.
But you
Taya
are
Mitchell.
Correct. And Engelby did show some activity, man. She was moving, picking up some offensive boards, just couldn't close it. But she did draw the foul.
Engelby the game averaging just over 13. On top, Voller can't run it down. This is going to be an over and back. Oh, must have been tapped by the Orioles, and Doug Erling's wondering the same thing. That's clearly an over and back, and the officials are going to get together. I don't think it was touched by anybody from Osseo. It's got to be an over and back.
Yeah, and Osseo's kind of picked up that tone on defense. Andover with 4 turnovers in that first half. They already have 3 turnovers here to start the second half, so 7 total.
And it is an over and back. And when Doug Erling popped up off the bench, I was kind of like, I didn't see it touched. He didn't see it, and then the officials got the call right. So they huddle up, and there it is right there. There wasn't an Oriole near it, so they got it right. Here's Wilson off a pick, stops, swings it over to the right. Here's Jalen Choi. Now down into the corner. Here's Hargrove. Further out, this is Mitchell. And now a three-pointer, Wilson, no, heel of the rim. Tried to follow her shot. Blocked out of there by Frost. Grabbed by Choi. She'll try the 3. That's no good. Rebound grab by the Orioles. And now they'll get it on top to White. Off to the left. This is Mitchell.
2 key offensive rebounds on this trip down.
Wilson drives in, can't get it. But the rebound and bucket by White, and she has 12 now.
Even a broken clock is right twice today. 3 offensive boards on that possession for Osseo, and they finally cash in, and now they get another Andover turnover. 4 already here in the second half.
Lily Peterson took an extra step, and they stop it. And now Andover's lead down to 12. Orioles have the ball. 13:43 to go.
Don't we always, all of us kind of do that every once in a while, take that extra step.
Choi drives in, put it up, got the bucket, and the foul. Drove it in on Lacey Heppel. That'll be the first on Heppel and the first on Andover, and a chance for a three-point play for Choi, who has 6 points in the game.
Yeah, Choi had 4 points back-to-back in the lane, or one from a shot from the outside as well before the end of that first half, and now she has a chance for the end one opportunity and gets it for 7 total already here as we start that second half.
Pretty impressive, and now it's a 9-point game. Andover was up 32-12 late in the half, and now they're within 9. Andover the ball. Heppel running the point, hands it off. Engelby into the lane. Gets it down low. Here's Miller back outside. Engelby, 3-ball, got it. Big bucket for Andover. She has 8. And a timeout on the floor. Huge Andover Husky bucket right there.
And Coach Nichols said before the game too, hey, we got to do a better job of also the drive and the kickouts. And that time, it was a good plan, a good play set up. They got it down to Miller. Miller found Engelby up top, and she buried the 3, averaging 13 a game. Look at the Orioles' upcoming schedule: Centennial, De La Salle, Spring Lake Park. Finally get some home games, and then they're at Rogers and Robbinsdale Armstrong on the 10th and the 12th. And meanwhile, for the Huskies, Spring Lake Park, they'll host them coming up here on Thursday. Then at Eastview, Duluth East host them again on the 20th. And then Lakeville North, that will be a great game on the 29th. And then at Chaska on January 3rd. And the only good news about January and winter is that the days start to get longer.
Yeah, there you go. That's coming up pretty quick.
That it is.
Shortest day of the year, and then we turn the corner. And getting it down to the block and traveling is White. White's had a big game, 12 points, but turns it over there.
I prefer not to say short. I prefer to say brief. Most brief day of the year. And so there it is. Good job by the Huskies to move that feet. To move the feet and cause that turnover.
Engelby across the lane. There's a battle for it. And now they get it out. Here's Heppel again. They're forcing it in. Engelby shot, no, and the rebound to the Orioles and White.
Well, they bracketed her that time as she took that shot at Osseo. She had to alter it, just short or brief.
Orioles cut it to 9, and they still don't have any points from Malaya Wilson. It's extraordinary. Here's Bennett. Bennett gives it up on the right. Wilson drives in, finally scores right there. And she can score in bunches. It's a 10-point game.
Explosive player. And we've got a holding call on the defense of Osseo on this full court pressure. It's going to go on number 12, White.
That'll be her 3rd. So Wilson, Miller, and White have 3 for the Orioles. Engelby's going to sit down. Voller back into the game.
And White's been bringing that scoring swag for Osseo tonight. She leads the team with 12. They can ill afford to lose her.
Here's Heppel. Heppel, the sophomore, gets a lot of minutes. Works against Talia Wilson. Here's Voller. Free throw line, almost lost it. Now it's Frost. Frost gives it up. Miller almost traveled, almost on the deck. And now they're going to call a foul on the Orioles. Maya Hargrove. It'll be number 2 on her, 3rd on Orioles.
They are so pesky. You know, to get that ball down below, they get a hand in to disrupt it. They make you work. Once that ball comes down or hits the court on a dribble, they will try to get a hand in there and make it as difficult as you can to get that ball back in possession. And
Joe, they weren't very active defensively early in the game because they did play number 2 St. Michael Albertville last night. So they did get off to a slow start, but they have certainly cranked it up here in half number 2 and are making it difficult. Down in the corner, there's a 3-ball that's short by Frost. Rebound to the Huskies. Voller with it, drives into the lane, put up a shot, it rattles in. She has 5 in the half, 13 in the game, 42-30 Andover. Here's Wilson, drives into the block, put up a shot, got it to go. She scored 4 in a row.
Yeah, she's just a scorer, a natural scorer. She can hit that jump shot. She can move. And that time she willed that ball in.
Heppel caught it, drives in, gives it up, turned over. Here come the Orioles, lob ahead. Here's Wilson on the break, double clutch, got stripped, got fouled. And they are probably going to give her free throws, and it might go on Morgan Miller, and if it is, it's number 2.
Now, the one thing Huskies aren't in is foul trouble. They had no one with more than 1 foul at half, and that's just a second on Miller. But they need to be on the watch because she is starting to heat up. And that is Alea Wilson, averaging 16 a game. She is bringing it. She's got
Two years ago, her sophomore year, in a home game against Coon Rapids, I had a chance to see it. She scored 36 points in the second half to lead a rally and an Orioles victory over Coon Rapids late in the season. I'll never forget it. A great performance. Frost drives in, got it to spin in. Big bucket by Frost. She has 8 in the game now.
Averaging 11 for the game.
Here's Wilson driving in, blocked by Frost, out of bounds.
I like that matchup. Frost has some great defensive skills. I like the fact also that they didn't settle for the 3 that the Huskies, and Frost cool and calmly laid that one in on the drive.
On the inbound, here's Mitchell. Now further out Choi. Now it's Wilson. She has scored 6 in a row, 2 field goals and free throws. Choi. The Orioles work the perimeter. Choi gets it on the left, drives in, double team comes. They work it across. Mettler further out. Wilson 3-ball, got it. Nothing but net. And she is heating up. She has got 9 in a hiccup, and it's a 7-point game.
ITZ, she is in the zone.
Look out.
Has a season high this season of 23. She could possibly eclipse that here in the second half.
Miller put up a shot, drew the foul. Miller just drove in, wouldn't be denied. Miller had 10 all in the first half. Foul on Hargrove, and that's the 4th Oriole with 3 fouls.
I was just going to say exactly that's foul trouble, and we are still with 10-13 to go. You can see the points there for Miller, 243. And her high this season has been 12.
Rebound grab by, off the miss, Beckman. Now further outside, Purcell. They get it down to the block. Miller back out. Miller catches, double team comes. Right back out, Engelby 3, got it. Her second 3 of the half, 3rd of the game. She has 11.
But hey, give the credit to Miller. She got the dime, and she had to work for it. She looked for the shot, didn't force the shot, rotated around on that pivot foot and kicked it out to her teammate for another trifecta. And the Huskies now with 3 players already in double digits. That's their mantra.
Runner in the lane, off, no good. Shot by Mitchell, grabbed by Voller. She'll come back the other way. Voller down the lane, stop, fade away from 10, got it to go. She has 7.5, 15 in the game, and Andover back up by 13. Well, it was 8 a moment ago, and now a 5-0 burst by Andover, and they grab control. Coming up on 9 to go in the game. Hargrove on the left. Now Wilson, 3-ball, got it. Pure shot, and just like that, she has 12.
It's the anything you can do, I can do better. Yes, you can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. They're back at it, back and forth. And it's on the pure heels right now of Miller, who has the hot hand. Or excuse me, Wilson, who has the hot hand for Osseo. She's been keeping him in it. And another foul whistled here on Osseo.
Yeah, blocked out of bounds. Andover's going to hang on. And they're going to inbound it. And the 3-ball, Voller, heel of the rim, no good. Rebound tapped around, grabbed by the Orioles, and Tatum Miller.
White holding her nose because an elbow from Miller hit right across the bridge of her nose, and she was trying to scramble for that rebound. But back again, hey, and you got to have White in that game because she's lighting it up as well with 12. She and Miller on the floor together.
Here come the Orioles, 10-point game. Choi, way out on the right, in front of her own bench. Choi drives into the paint, kicks it out. Trying to find Wilson for three. Now it's Choi again. Choi driving in. Wilson is going to drive into the block, force her way in. Good defense there by Frost. On the break the other way, Miller put up a shot, almost went in. As she fell out of bounds, she'll get 2 free throws. Wow. Morgan Miller, acrobatic.
And here's the question, are you going to keep White in the game? That's her 4th foul. Just starting to make a move to try to get this down to single digits, but an acrobatic shot. Impressive release on that by Miller as she was flying out of bounds and dropped it back. So she now has a season high tied at 12 here tonight. A chance to go for the 13th point.
Well, give the Orioles credit. They were down by 20 in the first half. Their star on the bench with 3 fouls and no points, and they battled back to cut it to single digits. They're down by 12 at the moment as Miller hit them both. 3 of 4 from the line in the half. And here's a quick 3 put up by the Orioles, grabbed by Andover, rebound hauled in by Miller, stolen away by Miller for the Orioles, and she'll back it out. Here's Alea Wilson in a timeout dug early in the Osseo Orioles. Still plenty of time to go in the game, but I'll get back to that. 32-20, and they found a way to get it down to 16 at the break and have picked it up defensively, and now finally Alea Wilson has started to score a little bit, and they're in this thing.
They are, and I'm sure Coach Erling is thinking about one thing, drawing up a play to get that ball time and time again into the hand of Alea Wilson. She has the hot hand. She was challenged. A great defensive play by Frost to prevent an easy layup. And Frost has stymied her a couple of times defensively here in the second half. I got to think they're going to keep her on top of and involved in that mix in front of Wilson, but you got to have Wilson get that ball in her hand.
Andover's length has given the Orioles problems that time and gave Alea Wilson a lot of trouble in the first half. She has 12 points. All in this half. 2 3-pointers, 2 2-pointers, and 2 for 2 from the line. Here's Wilson trying to work off a pick. Frost guarding her and doing an outstanding job.
I'm watching Osseo off the ball and seeing what they're doing and moving, doing a great job. And
Miller fouled, and that's going to be on Purcell on the floor before the shot. By the way, 5 team fouls on Osseo, 3 on Andover at the moment. That is number 2 on Purcell. Sophia Purcell for Andover, the junior. They get it on the inbound. Further out, Choi. Over to Miller on the right. Tatum Miller swings it out to Wilson. Nice look down low. That was a pretty pass. And Bennett lays it in for her first bucket, 10-point game.
Beautiful dime by Wilson. Hey, she drew the defenders, threw a perfect pass inside for the bunny.
That one's knocked away, but then it's finally grabbed by Miller. Frost drives in, left-handed shot, no. Rebound back up, no. What a rebounding performance by Miller in that sequence. 5.5, 15 in the game. She would not be denied. And let's see what we got here.
I have a technical foul, I believe. It's going to be called on Osseo, and I think that's going to go on Wilson.
Yep.
And that, does that guy, I believe that's a foul as well.
Her 4th foul, 6th team foul.
54-42. That one hurts. And now Ingleby to shoot the technical.
You know, I believe that was Miller, not Wilson. If I said Wilson, my bad. I just saw Wilson react a little frustrated. But it did go against Miller, so that picks up. You got it.
And Wilson's reaction was frustration. Ingleby again will get it. She has 7.5, 12 in the game. And now it's 55-42, so that one really hurts with 6:49 to go.
I got to tell you, I'm excited. You watch the juice of this Huskies basketball team. I enjoy watching their depth and the players they bring in and out, and the scoreability by any number of players along the perimeter and inside, and Miller getting those offensive battles, and the putbacks has her season high at 15.
Voller, long three, top of the key. It's short. Rebound, Choi. Choi's going to grab it for the Orioles. They're in the danger zone again, down by 13. Here's Wilson. Over Frost. No. Long rebound, fought for, grabbed by Purcell. And then she'll give it to Voller. Stolen by Wilson. She'll put it up and in. She just stole it away. She has 14.
It was Valor. It was like, I think she just grabbed my arm and took the ball. And it was like, just surprised. There's a force right there. Turnover.
On the break, Wilson again. Double clutches. Put it up. No, but drew the foul. And she'll get 2 free throws, and she's almost automatic from there.
Say that again. Clutches. Clutches. You just said it well. Enjoyed it. She has been the person to go to. She and Miller could be on the floor at the same time. Unfortunately tonight, Wilson had that foul trouble in the first half, but boy, she is heating it up with 16, is it already here in the second half with 6 minutes to go. You may just want to put the old diamond and 2 on her defensively and have somebody else beat you.
55-46, 9-point game. 6 to go. They get it inbounds. Here's Lacey Heppel. And guarding her and backing away is Jayla Bennett. Purcell drives in, trying to get it down low. They turn it over. They tried to get it to the post, and Miller, and she couldn't grab it. Now the Orioles have it back, down by 9. Still plenty of time to go in the game.
And what did you see? Here's a need to know for you by Joe. Ready? On that full court pressure, the need to know is 70% of the turnovers on full court pressure happen after the midcourt line. And that time, they really tried to speed up the pace of the ball handler for Andover that time, and they committed the turnover.
Wilson drives in, draws a foul on the floor, and that could probably, I'm going to guess, Morgan Miller on the near block. And no, they're going to say it's Heppel, her second. 15 foul on Andover, 6 on Osseo. They get it in. Choi goes up, and she got fouled. Wilson on the inbound, fed it to the cutter Choi. And another foul on Andover. Team fouls are even now at 6.
I think they were trying to set that up. Just, you remember where the Gophers would set that up for Hoffarber? He'd inbound the ball, but that created some gaps where he could get the ball back for a 3-point shot. And it looked like they wanted to get that ball back to Wilson, but Choi's been shooting the ball well. She's nearing double digits, and a good free throw shooter tonight.
Choi got them both. Choi now 4.5, 8 in the game, and it's a 7-point game again. 6-0 run by the Orioles.
Choi's made some quiet but key baskets.
They get it down low. Frost, turnaround, off, no good. Rebound, out of bounds, off Miller. Orioles ball. Frost got a good look over the double team, but couldn't hit it. And then Miller tried to grab the board, and now it's the Orioles. And now Wilson running the point. Wilson's come alive. 16 points all in this half. Bennett now to Choi.
The ball out of Wilson's hand is just temporary. They're trying to get her into a better spot here to get a shot.
Wilson trying to work off a pick, guarded by Frost. Down in the corner, here's Bennett. Further in, Choi. Back out. Here's Bennett's 3. No. Rebound tapped around, out of bounds. Andover ball. Good defensive position by Heppel on the box out.
But I love how they use Choi down low as well, because Choi is a good ball handler, but a good distributor as well. She kicked it back out for that 3 attempt.
Now we have a timeout. Doug Erline urging on his team. Blake Nichols get together with his team and sort things out. But once again, ton of credit to the Orioles. After a really tough loss last night to number 2, St. Michael Albertville. And a slow start tonight, they battled back.
You look at the schedule coming up here on QCT. Boys hockey, Andover boys traveling to Champlin Park. That's on the 15th. And we've got the concert coming up. A little Ave Maria, perhaps. on 12/20. That'll be great to see, along with girls basketball returning at Champlain Park. Woodbury travels to Champlain Park on the 21st. And then on the 29th, it is Lakeville North at Andover right here in the Husky Hub. And that should be a great battle. Lakeville North, a tough team this season. And I think we've seen a good showcase of talent by the Huskies here this evening as well.
So Andover comes out of the timeout up by 7, still time in the game. And out there it's going to be Heppel, Voller, Miller, Engelby.
Hey, and you look at Engelby, Engleby's got 12. You've got Miller. Miller has 15. You also have Voller with 15 of her own.
Frost out there as well. Out at the line. Here's Miller, put it on the floor, drove in, missed the shot. Rebound grab by Bennett. 7-point game, Orioles down, but they have the ball. Now it's Choi.
Huskies have stayed pretty much in that man-to-man all night. They're making sure that Frost stays, but there's a switch. Now back is Frost back on Wilson.
Wilson on the left. Long three, off, no good. Rebound down to Miller for Andover. Outlet ahead, Frost, the catch. The miss, but the follow by Miller is good.
Good focus. He collided with Frost as they both went for the rebound and a quick back.
Down in the corner, it's Bennett. No. Rebound grab by the Orioles. Good job there. And then Wilson had to go through her legs, grabs it. She'll try and drive on Frost. Goes all the way under the bucket. Stops, needs help. Choi out there. Choi from the elbow, the floater, no. And the rebound, Engelby.
A rare miss for Choi.
Driving the other way, Voller got fouled on the floor. And that'll put, both teams are now, for all practical purposes, in the bonus. Both teams had 16 fouls.
One thing the Huskies have been doing well is shooting from that free throw line, Steve.
Foul on Mitchell, by the way.
Critical free throws again. I mean,
Voller with the make. Now 2 of 3 from the line in the half. 8 points, 16 in the game. And they're really showing their balance. We talked about a pregame, Joe. A lot of balanced scoring and multiple players in double figures. And now they're on a 4-0 run, and they're back up by 11. Orioles the ball. Miller trying to get it to Wilson. Frost stole it away. Frost has done a nice job defensively, even though Wilson has 16 points. Here's Voller driving in, left-handed scoop, no. And the foul is going to be charged on Taya Mitchell.
Yeah, and they made some of that adjustment at halftime as when they came out and Wilson started to heat it up. Coach for the Huskies decided at that time, hey, we need to make an adjustment, and Frost went over, took over, and Coach Nichols identified that early. She hasn't been perfect, but she has really diffused a little bit of that scoring momentum she had earlier here in the second half. That is Wilson.
And she gets them both. She has made 4 free throws in a row. 61-48. Wilson drives into the block. Blocked by Frost. Grabbed by Miller. Frost gives it up on the wing, and it's stolen away by the Orioles. Choi drives in, puts up a shot, drew the foul, and that foul is going to go on Engelby, her third. She'll get free throws, probably 2.
Get a look at the play here, and hey, season high for Valor this year. It's been 26 points. That was against Rosemont. She's on the verge of eclipsing that.
Choi missed a free throw. She was at that point 3 for 3. Stuck at 8 points for the moment. Her Orioles down by 13. She does hit that one.
Right now, you'll see this pressure. Anything to get a turnover, disrupt, step in front of a dribble. Miller,
Ingleby gets it over the line.
so quick.
And now we have a timeout, Andover. Blake Nichols wants to chat.
I like that timeout. I like that timeout because, hey, you got it across. There's no rush, but sometimes that tenacious defense can get that clock in the brain thinking, I got to hurry up. Oh, my gosh, I get by. And I'm sure he's going to get there to say, just slow it down. We're in no rush to take a shot. So make sure it is a shot or a pass inside, or we go draw a foul, go to the free throw line. Here's a look at a game tonight. Armstrong up ahead over Coon Rapids, courtesy of CTN. Armstrong, a good start. I believe they knocked off Andover this past weekend. After Andover, the boys had an exciting overtime win over Lakeville South on Friday night.
Here's Andover up by 12. They have the ball. It's Ingleby out of the timeout.
And see, they install now a different offense.
Frost into Miller. Double team comes. Choi had it for a moment. Stolen away. Grabbed by Peterson. Andover hangs on through all of that. Now it's Voller to the elbow. Stops. Almost traveled.
And see, that timeout by Nichols did a good job of reminding everyone, hey, we don't need the rush. We don't need it. We can go to the dribble drive, kick it back out. Just taking time off the clock is significant right now. So with 2:02 to go, it's Frost who's going to go to the line.
Foul on White on the block. That'll be your fifth. She'll fall out of the game with 12 points. First player to foul out tonight. And Frost will be at the line. Frost in this game, 8 points.
Chance for Frost to ice this game, shall we say.
You probably worked on that all day. Folks,
I'm sure she hears it all the time.
that one off no good, the front end.
Ice in her veins.
Once again, he'll be here all week. Tip your waiters and waitresses. 1:53 to go in the game. Andover in control. Wilson, 3-ball. Got it.
Speaking of ice in her veins,
19 all in the half.
she elevates and hits a fresh-looking three-pointer. Nothing but net on that 3-ball. Wow.
And that's all she needs is just a little room. And Andover's done a good job, but you forget about her, and that happens, and it's still a 9-point game with 1:46 to go. The storyline of this first half was what Andover did defensively against Alea Wilson, and the fact that she had 3 fouls. Probably played what, Joe? 12 minutes in that first half?
I don't even think 12. I did, yeah, close to half of it. And it does. That was kind of the tipping point. But let's see what kind of smoke they have left here. Does Osseo's, they come out with full court pressure. Great timeout. They're going to go to a man-to-man.
Anna Voller to inbound for Andover in the backcourt. Also Purcell back there. They do get it into Ingleby. Ingleby guarding by Tatum Miller. Ingleby going to power her way into the front court, being hounded by Miller. And
they're going to call an elbow on Miller. That'll be her 5th.
Yeah, Miller's going to foul out, no points. Second Oriole to foul out of the game. And she was right on her hip, and eventually they had to call it. And now Ingleby will be at the line. Ingleby 1 for 2 from the stripe. 7 points in this half, 12 overall.
Yep, she didn't have a choice, but you're just trying to knock that ball loose, maybe get a little physical and see if you could have her put her off a shoe or something. And Huskies, meanwhile, missed their last 2 free throws. And some substitutions popping in here quickly.
Franklin's going to come in, and sitting down is Bennett for the Orioles. One more for Ingleby. That one rattles around and drops. It's a 10-point game. Here's Wilson, drives in, jump stop, put it up, and it falls. They had 21. 8-point game. 1:18 to go. She is really something. Almost stolen away by Choi. Engelby hangs on for Andover. Coming up on 1 minute to go. Voller on the outside. Been a physical game, being bumped by Mitchell. Andover trying to play keep away, forcing the Orioles to foul, and now Choi has fouls to give. That's just number 2 on her.
And, you know, with about 2.5 to go, you saw Nichols call a timeout as the Huskies crossed center court. But the reason was to install this offense, this system, because they knew they had to do some dribble drive, keep some spacing, kick it back out, and not take any shots unless they were in the lane and a bunny wide open, and draw the fouls. And since that time, they've been doing a great job of playing some poised ball against a very active and athletic Osseo defensive squad.
Engelby now has 10 in the half, 15 in the game, 10-point game for Andover. And we're just under a minute to go. Here's Wilson guarded by Frost. She'll drive in, and on the reach, it's going to be Lily Peterson, number 2. And that helps the Orioles' cause because the clock stopped, and she is almost automatic on free throws. Not trying to jinx her. 4 for 4 at the line, 21 points for her. We'll see what she does.
Effortless on those free throws, isn't she? Just a pure scorer from all avenues.
We'd call it the Joe Rulin approach.
It
effortless.
Yes.
Quite a game by her. 23 points all in the half. They get it ahead to Frost in the middle of the floor, almost knocked away. 43 seconds left. 8-point game down on the deck. Voller goes down awkwardly. She's okay, and she is.
And
she'll get free throw.
Yep, Voller back to the line. You can see, you know, the performance here in the second half by, you know, the depth of this Huskies squad, because she now has 20 on the game. Voller had 8 at half. And, you know, Engelby had 5 at half. She now has 15 for the game.
And that one out of there. And now the Orioles down by 9. Long 3, Wilson buries it. Wow. What a shot. She has 26.
Little heat check shot that time, and there was no doubt that was a clinging jumper.
It's a 6-point game with 30.3 left. And I go back to that story your sophomore year. Coon Rapids and Osseo, I think they were both 2-win teams at the end of the season over at Osseo Senior High School. Doing the game, and she absolutely took over in a 36-point second half against the Cardinals that night at home. Here she's put up 26, Joe, in the second half, and single-handedly has kept her team in the game.
Yeah.
And down by 6 with 30.3, it is doable.
I mean, I still remember her getting her first points of the game tonight. It was a layup.
Yeah.
And I was thinking
and
to myself, when is she going to be?
It
was almost 5 minutes into the second half. You take that equation, about, 13 minutes, and she's cashed in 25 points in those 13 minutes.
Yeah, she just an extraordinary scorer, and as you mentioned, is going to go play college hoops, and why not? Just a terrific player.
Yeah, she's off to Lindenwood.
Yeah.
First year of D1 basketball. That will be next year for that squad.
Andover trying to get it in. They better hurry. And we got a 5-second call. Oriole ball down by 6 with 30 seconds to go. And now Wilson is going to inbound.
Half hour play. She'll get it right back, I'm guessing.
Choi drives in, kicks it out in the corner. Here's Wilson.
Yeah, they can't wait too much longer before they put up a shot.
Puts up a runner on the baseline. No. Rebound tapped around, saved in. Grabbed by Frost for Andover. And then Voller in the backcourt. They try and foul her. And I don't know if it was Choi or Wilson that fouled her. But Voller will go to the other end and shoot free throws with 10.4, and that'll probably do it. They just couldn't get her a look on the inbound at 3.
And, you know, it didn't help. They had some shots, some of the Osseo players, but, you know, when you're hot, you're going to get it to one person, and she is in the zone, has been Wilson. And you wanted her to have the chance to get another 3 look as Ingleby drains the first of 2. She now has 21, does Ingleby.
Voller.
Scory, Voller.
And that'll probably do it, as she knocks him down. So she has made her free throws. And Andover's going to go to 4 and 2. Here's Wilson going to drive in, kicks it out to Choi. Her 3 blocked away by Voller with 3.9. And the Orioles are going to fall to 1 and 4. They finally get to go home, and they take on Centennial on Thursday in their next game. So it doesn't get easier. They open 1 and 4, all on the road. Here's Wilson at the horn, missed it, but she puts up 26 in the second half and ends up with 26 in the game to lead all scorers. But Andover hangs on to win it 67-59. Anna Voller leads away with 21, Joe.
Well, you know, that depth, the height, the bench for Andover kind of took its toll, along with not having Wilson in that first half because of foul trouble paid his field. But again, the Huskies come at it with a good trifecta of scoring in double figures. And I think you'll see that most of the year. And this experience is really starting to set the tone for the Huskies as they now move to 4 and 2.
Andover home again on Thursday night against Spring Lake Park. Big thanks to the PA and